Programs of the Santa Paula Unified School District. She's the Executive Director of Special Education and Student Support Services, which is a very responsible job. So I want to welcome you, Stephanie. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself and how long you've been with the district?
Sure. Thank you so much for having me. So I'm new to this position and new to this district. I've been here about 3 months now. And, you know, it's been quite a time starting a position like this in a time of COVID. So
wow.
I have learned a lot, and they always say, you know, you're not growing unless you're outside of your comfort zone. And boy, have I grown a bit since I started in July. So I'm so happy to be here, and it's a beautiful area and a beautiful community. And thank you again for having me.
Yes, oh yeah, Santa Paula is a wonderful community. It really is. I mean, I'm a big fan. It is. It's a wonderful people. You know, they really are. And being in education now, especially, is so challenging. You know, and all the way through the whole district, it's very, very challenging. Now, talk to me about exclusive culture and practices. What basically is that, and what are we doing?
Well, for you know, students who have disabilities, and an inclusive culture is one where we make sure to you know, include all of our students, whether or not they have an IEP or not, and really make it clear and a part of our culture that they are general ed students first. So we want to make their school experience and their opportunities just as incredible and meaningful as all of the other students. So it's really important. And you know, just from my short time here, I've really gotten the sense that, you know, from the principals to the teachers to even support staff, they really have that mentality here in Santa Paula. And it's great because parents feel that, and it's something that they want to send their student to schools that are, you know, that you're going to make sure that you know, my kid is included, and they're going to feel that their learning is just as important as everyone else.
Yes, well, you know, I went to a high school in Van Nuys, California called Birmingham years ago, and they also had a school for the deaf at that point there. And it was very interesting, and it was really wonderful for everybody that intermingled. And what population would you say of the school falls under the special education programs? Do you have a percentage or an idea of a number?
So on average, usually it's about 10% of your population will be
Sure.
students with disabilities.
And so the school, of course, just has all these practices that the way they present it, the kids are just included in everything. I'm sure that it's just everybody assimilates so well.
Yeah, and you know, I think the time that you'll see it most is when you're actually in the IEP meetings, and you have, you know, general ed teachers and special ed teachers working together in those meetings to really get creative and talk about how can we educate the student in the least restrictive environment? How can we make sure that they get the most minutes in general ed possible? And that's really what we're aiming for.
Oh, absolutely. And that's so important. That really is. Now, parent engagement in education. I imagine that these parents are probably pretty eager to be engaged, as it were. So could you discuss that a little for us, please?
Absolutely. So, you know, as with any parent, you know, our efforts to engage the population of parents who have students with IEPs is especially important. I think that, you know, knowledge is power. So making sure that we provide opportunities for our parents to learn the processes and to really speak their concerns. You know, not every student is going to fit the same mold, obviously, and to be able to voice what it is that their individual student needs, and for us to be able to have a forum to discuss and respond is really important. So, you know, we have our CIC meetings through the SELPA where parents are able to come and not just see myself or Santa Paula, but can also see parents within the county. Is a really great opportunity for them to.
So in other words,
to make
they can all network and connect. Oh,
Absolutely, right. So we really encourage parents to come out for those. Right now, mental health is a major focus for not just our district, but districts across the state and the country with the COVID closures and whatnot. So we're trying to do a lot of parent education and outreach outside of the school day for them as well.
now, do you work with the county Board of Education too on programs and things like that, or do they set the standards or?
They do give us a lot of really valuable ideas and guidance. We want to make sure that as a county, we're doing very consistent work for all of our students. So there's a lot of collaboration that happens between districts and a lot of just sharing out of not only troubleshooting issues, but great ideas for streamlining our efforts.
Mhm. So I think people don't realize that with these types of things are never just, they're always shifting and changing and catching up. They're just not, okay, this is the way we do it and we're doing it. And that's where you start, and then you just keep, and especially with unique students like these.
Absolutely. We always
Absolutely.
have to be thinking about the students who don't fit that mold, right? And that's okay. I relish in trying to make sure that every student has what they need. It's not about equality; it's about equity, right? And that they have an opportunity.
Uh-huh. Now, what are some of the special needs as far as with the children?
Sure. Um, a lot of our students, they're struggling with learning disabilities. Some of them might have dyslexia or things like that. And then we also serve students with more intensive needs, whether it be autism or an emotional disturbance, or maybe their cognitive abilities are really impacted. So, they need a lot of support with adaptive skills, just getting their daily needs met. So, we have a wide range of needs that we support, but, we're up for the challenge.
Absolutely. And not only that, it's not just, and you help them adapt. I mean, that's what's so marvelous about it. It's a matter of when you were talking about growth earlier and everything, it just helps them adapt. And I know so much depends upon the staff for things like that. Now, what kind of professional development for staff? What does that entail?
So that's a big one right now. So, we're in an age now where technology is our forum. This is the main way that we're connecting with students and families. And so we've had to start from the ground up and do tech training on how do we build a Google Classroom? How do you schedule a Zoom meeting? And not only for our staff, but parents have to get up to speed on how to log into a Zoom meeting and how do I help my child access their education from home. So there's been a lot of teaching and a lot of learning and a lot of patience that's been on both sides. And we're looking at how to grade, how to take attendance, how to ensure that students are making progress. Even though we don't see them don't see them in person every day.
Absolutely. And I know we really have no idea how long this is going to last either when we really get right down to it. And when school does start up again, as it were, it's already in session, but when they're allowed to come back to campus, I imagine it'll probably be a hybrid model, and there'll still be some of this distance learning going on. But I know it's so important to the kids, and especially special needs students. They need that connection. All students do,
Right.
there's no doubt whatsoever, but especially with special needs, they just, that becomes their anchor, as it were, sometimes. And that's so wonderful about having that education and everything.
Absolutely.
Is there anything you'd like to add, or anything that you've been thinking about that you'd like the parents to know?
I think it's just important to have parents understand that, even though we aren't seeing folks in person and students aren't coming to campus every day, our teachers have worked really hard to make this the new norm and, help students feel comfortable in their new setting and being just very flexible. You know, we are all in a very difficult situation, but we're here implementing our goals, and we are here implementing IEP services and accommodations, and you know, we're not going to let students fall through the cracks. We are really being diligent in monitoring and ensuring that students get what they need.
And that's wonderful too. I mean, such incredibly challenging times. I mean, I really admire our educators and our parents and our students, you know, I mean, they're all going to get through this together.
We will.
Well, Stephanie, it was a pleasure talking to you today, and I hope you come back and see us again soon. And welcome to Santa Paula and the Santa Paula Unified School District. I'm sure they're going to love you and community, and the more you know, and love us. So what can I say?
Well, thank you for having me.
It is. Okay, once again, I'm Peggy Kelly, and this is Good Morning Santa Paula. And we had Stephanie Barnes with us this morning from the Santa Paula Unified School District, and she's in charge. She's the Executive Director of Special Education and Student Support Services. That's a real mouthful. And it was lovely speaking to you today. And once again, welcome, and hopefully we will see you soon. And I'm Peggy Kelly, and this is Good Morning Santa Paula, KADYTV.net. And also they're putting these on Spectrum Cable 10. And when you go to KADYTV.net, if you go to YouTube, be sure to subscribe. So anyway, thank you. And everybody out there, have a wonderful weekend and stay safe. And thanks again, Stephanie.
Thanks, Peggy.